Hi there, welcome back to Lessons from a Pro with Jason Podolin. I am Jason Podolin, former NHLer and mindset coach, and I help players and teams take their game to the next level without more ice time or physical training. And in this segment, I always break down intangibles, essential intangibles for a hockey player that are required for them to reach high performance and peak potential status, which is what we're all trying to do. We are trying to get an edge in the competition. We're trying to perform our best in the biggest moments. We're trying to develop at a rate faster than other athletes and earn more minutes and earn more ice time and more opportunity. And in this segment is from a podcast with Jason Blake. Jason Blake, for those of you who are unaware, is a longtime NHLer. Came in at 5'9", 190 pounds. He was a smaller athlete, but was a real hard worker, a real tenacious guy, and a real fast player. He came into the game late, he came to the pro level late as a graduate out of the University of North Dakota and played his rookie season at 26 years old. Now, his story is very interesting because although he did make the NHL and played for 3 full seasons, his stat line was not impressive. 5 goals, 8 goals. In his third season, he scored 8 goals as a 28-year-old player, essentially on the third line, and in a penalty-killing role. And Jason now talks about how he went from that player to a 40-goal scorer. At 29 years old, he scored 26 goals. Then he had 25, I think, then 28, and then 40 goals. Ended up making an all-star team, an NHL all-star team, ended up representing the United States at the Olympics in Turin. He was a World Cup team member. He was one of the best American players in the game at the time. And this is after scoring 5 goals, 8 goals. So what happened? Let's hear what Jason has to say.
Well, I mean, he would tell me like, you're so freaking fast. Like, we just have to figure out like how to do more offensively, and I told him, I said, well, shit, I dump the puck in every time I get to the red line because I'm scared that you're going to bench me, but it's, again,
good point. What did he say to that?
Well, he said, well, we don't want you. We didn't ask you to do that. And I'm like, bullshit. You always say that. Dump it in. If we turn it over, we sin, but it's that word confidence,
Right.
anything you do, if you have confidence and you feel like you can make a play or score a goal, it's going to start coming for you, and it comes a little bit easier. You're not gripping the stick as tight.
Well, and the game slows down a little bit. So what was the secret for Jason Blake? How, after 3 seasons in the NHL, after scoring 5 goals, 8 goals, 8 goals at 28 years old, not a position where most people have a dramatic improvement in skill or in the quality of their play, Jason then goes on to score 20 goals or more in 4 or 5 consecutive seasons. The difference is confidence. How did Jason go from fearful to confident? And that's the biggest deal here, because confidence is this secret gem, and you hear about it all the time on interviews at the highest level. I lost my confidence. I can't find my confidence. I need to get my confidence back. It's like it's something that was lost, that was under a rock, that is something you can actually pick up and find and hold. The other side of confidence is fear. And that's where Jason was operating from. And fear is a very primal emotion. It is not a high performance emotion. You are just trying to survive when you're in a fear-based emotional state. And I've been there. Jason's been there. When you're in a scenario where you feel that one mistake is going to cost you your job, or is going to cost you ice time, or is going to cost you a spot in the lineup, it's very hard to operate from an empowering emotion, one of like creativity. When you are operating out of fear, you are not seeing attack angles. You are not using deception in your game. You are not calculating risk-reward ratios in real time when you have the puck, because all you're trying to do is get to the red line so you can dump it in and not make a mistake. And you become a robot. And nobody wants to be a robot. Confident players are searching for the opportunities. Confident players want the puck. And now the difference in Jason's case was a simple conversation. Now you have to remember, this is the 90s. And Peter Laviolette is an amazing coach who's a little bit ahead of his time, and he listened to the conversation where Jason says, I'm scared to turn the puck over. I'll dump it in because I think you want me to dump it in. And Peter says, I never asked you to do that. And that simple clarity of expectation allowed Jason to move from being a fear-based player into a player who is still going to play safe and still earn the trust of his coach in the role that he was given, in a fourth-line role and a PK role, but he was confident enough to search for opportunities when the time was right. And when he switched his mindset from one of fear to one of confidence, to one of creativity, to one of opportunity, he ended up scoring some more goals. And with the more goals became more opportunities from the coach. And then came the confidence that we all want. The confidence from the coach, the confidence in ourselves. But you can't do that out of fear. I believe in communication. When I work with my athletes, I'm working on the person behind the player. And often, the person works off of assumptions. And in this case, Jason was working off an assumption of what he thought the coach wanted and what he thought was going to happen to him. Real, imagined, or assumed, it wasn't serving him. He wasn't playing his best hockey. And that's the thing I want athletes to keep in mind. Are you playing at your highest level? Is the emotion that you have on the ice one that is serving you? And if it's not, then you need to address it. And oftentimes it is an assumption. And if you let the coach know what you're feeling and why you're feeling it, that can do wonders for you as a player. So always pay attention to what the person is feeling so you can help the player on the ice. This one conversation helped Jason go from a player on the ice that scored 8 goals to 40 goals. It helped Jason secure a $20 million contract, an NHL All-Star job, and countless other opportunities that would never have happened if he continued on in the role that he was playing. It's a decision, right? That is a decision. That is an intangible that is up to you to, one, have the self-awareness to recognize what emotion you're operating from. Is it a primal state like fear? Is it a survival mode? And is that serving you? And then, what are you prepared to do about that? If you are a coach, this is 2021, you need to help the person behind your player. You need to recognize these tendencies, recognize they're playing a fear-based game, and have a conversation with them and promote an environment and a culture that allows them to expand, to create, to use the skills that got them on the team. That is crucial. If you are a player, do not feel that you are alone. Do not feel that there's no solutions. You are in control at all times, and your mindset is a very important tool that you need to have sharp and ready to go.